Guys, we are live for AMA Thursday. I'm excited to be here. Let me know what questions you guys have for me. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you, whether that's about general entrepreneurship or selling on Amazon or anything else. Just let me know. I'm here for the next 30 minutes to answer whatever questions you guys have. Let's see. We already have a few questions in here. The first one's on Facebook from Zevi. It says, do giveaways still help with ranking? I've been seeing a lot of people saying that it doesn't help anymore. Good question. There have been some rumors floating around that I've seen that are saying that the giveaways don't help as much. There's been a lot of mixed reports about this. Some people say, oh yeah, they still work just as well. Other people are saying it seems like Amazon's calculating their algorithm that like heavily discounted products might not work as well. So to answer your question, I'm not sure. I haven't launched a product like in the past week, so I'm not quite sure. I have talked to a lot of people that have, and it seems like the general consensus is it still works the same. So right now I'm thinking it is just a rumor, but I'll let you guys know kind of like as I figure stuff out, and we'll kind of like post something about that like on our blog. Victor on YouTube said, do you manually approve coupons or do you set it to automatic? That just depends. I usually set it to automatic because I'm not, I usually just set a certain number a day and I don't want to have to log in every day to look at it. And I think Victor's talking about on JumpSend. But if you're the type of people that's like, it's kind of scary to be giving away these coupons, then you might set it to manual, but it doesn't really matter. Let's see. On Facebook, Frederick says, hey guys, one question. When you guys started selling the Jungle Snugs, did you have to open an online shop separate from Amazon? I see that as one of the requirements Amazon has made in order to sell clothing. I guess the Jungle Snugs are not considered clothing. Thanks. No, we didn't have to open an online shop, and I haven't actually heard of that before. Maybe it's some kind of new requirement Amazon has specifically for the clothing category. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, we didn't personally have to do that for Jungle Snugs, and I've actually never personally heard of that one before. All right. Let's see, what's the next one here? On Facebook, Sandy says, does anyone know how to deal with copying 20 plus SKUs from one campaign, which is an automatic campaign, to another campaign manually? Or another manual campaign? You have to set up a new manual campaign in Seller Central, but you can just copy and paste like those 20 ASINs into the new campaign. I've never really had any trouble with that. I don't think you should either. But yeah, I mean, you can just copy and paste, all the ASINs into the new campaign that you set up with the manual campaign. YouTube said, Al Bidu said, my account was suspended. Can you do a video on suspensions? First of all, sorry to hear that. Yeah, we could try to do a video on suspensions down the road. This account suspensions very rarely happen to people who do follow all the rules. So it's important. Maybe that's what you're talking about, what the video should be about. The rules are kind of like selling on Amazon. Some of the main ones I think like the main things that people get hit for are like IP infringement. So that would be, like you copy and paste someone's listing material and like that's their copyright. So, you don't have the copyrights to have that material on there. You steal someone's images. You're using their trademarks. Sometimes it has to do with like review manipulation. So like breaking the rule, like you're not allowed to have incentivized reviews on Amazon. So I think some people get their account banned for that. Potentially selling counterfeit goods. I think some people get their account banned for that. But I guess like big picture for everyone listening, very rarely does Amazon suspend accounts for people who aren't breaking the rules. So it's important to, you're selling on their platform. It's important to abide by their rules and as well as, government laws. All right. On Facebook, Smitty said, I'm not a private label person. Can you recommend how Jungle Scout can help drop shipping? Sure. So, Jungle Scout specifically built to identify profitable opportunities on Amazon, okay? That being said, we found that like a lot of other companies find this information really valuable because it's great like business intelligence information to have to know what's selling well on Amazon. So, you know, some people use it to say like, okay, what are the top sellers in this particular category? I'm going to sell those type of products like on my own e-commerce store. Or even like private equity groups sign up for like our software because they want to see like the new hot up and coming markets or niches. So yeah, it is value. You know, it was specifically built for Amazon sellers, but it is very valuable for people who just want general market intelligence about what's selling well online. All right. Colleen says, what's the relationship between Jungle Scout rank and Amazon page rank and Amazon's bestseller rank? Okay, good question. So the rank shown in Jungle Scout is the same thing as the bestsellers rank. Okay, we just abbreviated bestsellers rank into just rank. Okay, so what the bestsellers rank or Jungle Scout rank is calculated by what the best selling product is in that parent category. Okay, so like number 1 is the best selling product in that particular category. Number 100, that's the 100th bestseller in that particular category. So that's what the Amazon rank is. That doesn't necessarily correlate to the Amazon page rank for specific keywords, okay? Amazon takes into account a number of things, one of which is sales velocity, which directly correlates to the best sellers rank, but you can think of those as like two different things. Sheehan said, how long would it take Amazon to make my inventory available? My first order just was delivered to Amazon. It typically only takes like a day. Sometimes during fourth quarter, they're really backed up and it can take a few days, but it should probably be available like within 24 hours. Avi said, once I launch a product, can I update the photos? If I make changes to the product or I have a new set or do I have to set up a new product listing? No. You can edit your product listing forever, you know, especially if you set it up, and especially if you have brand registry, you never have any problems editing your listing. So don't feel like your listing has to be perfect right from the get-go. What's most important is just to get the listing up and going, and then you can always, you know, you can split test it and modify it and optimize it and everything else down the road. So don't worry about that. You'll always be able to make those changes. Guys, if you're enjoying this AMA so far, or if maybe I've answered your question or you want me to answer your question, hit that like or love button on Facebook or YouTube, or hit the subscribe button. That would mean a lot for me, and that's what keeps me coming back every Thursday. So don't forget to do that. Next question. Do you need any specific licenses or documents to back up the fabric you use in order for Amazon to approve your product? I've never had that before. I've never had Amazon force me to prove, like through laboratory tests, what the fabric is for that product. How do you track the sales of Amazon products on Amazon now that the 999 method doesn't work when a seller sets limits? So in the Jungle Scout web app, we have a way around this to be able to track inventory even if the seller sets limits. But I don't know of like a manual way to do it if you're just trying to, you know, like add 999 to your cart. All right. On Facebook, Elsa says, I have 2 product ideas and I'm researching manufacturers. Nice job. Your webinars have been extremely helpful. Thank you. Okay. I guess no question there, but thank you for watching the webinars. I'm glad I could help. Is it better to give away products on JumpSend or just lower the price on Amazon? Good question. I prefer to give away coupons at full price. You know, so the product's listed at full price and I'm giving away coupons. The reason that I prefer that is I prefer, you know, to also have my product up on Amazon and getting organic sales, and I'm adding to those organic sales with the coupon sales that I'm getting. So that's why I prefer it. Some people may choose that they'd rather just start off with like a lower price, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's usually, we'll say roughly the same amount of money, and I'd prefer to be getting some of those organic sales for full price on Amazon as I'm supplementing them with coupons. For your LLC, do you need, this is on YouTube from Guillermo, for your LLC, do you need to create a bank account for it, for the tax information? Okay, so I think there's kind of a few questions here, but All right, so to just set up an LLC, you don't need a bank account and you don't need a tax ID, which in the US for a corporation or for an LLC is called an EIN, okay? Employer Identification Number. So to set up your LLC, you don't need either of those. To register for an EIN number, you need an LLC name, but you don't need a bank account. So like step 1 would be register the LLC. Step 2 would be to register for the EIN, which is free. Just Google registering EIN with IRS or something. You'll see it should be the top result. And then once you have the LLC and the EIN, that's when you can go and set up a business bank account. So to specifically answer your question, Guillermo, do you need to create a bank account? Yeah, that should answer your question. I think that the question was a little confusing, but I think that was the gist of it, I'm sure. On Facebook, Jamie said, hey, Greg, I'm setting up my first product. Does it make a difference if my FNSKU begins with a B or an X? No. But I think you might be getting the ASIN and the FNSKU confused. I kind of forget now, but I kind of think all ASINs start with a B. Now I forget. So anyway, short answer is no. Amazon assigns you an FNSKU and that's your FNSKU. So it doesn't matter what it starts with. I think they all start with the same letter, but I forget what it is now. What's the best tool for optimizing and managing Amazon sponsored product ads? Great question, Michael. And to be completely honest, I haven't really used them yet. I know there's a few different tools out there and I hear kind of like mixed reports about different ones, but if I'm being fully transparent with you, I don't have any experience actually using them myself, so I don't want to give you kind of like a recommendation for it yet. Hey Greg, I don't have enough time to get an inspection for a simple 1,000-unit production order due to Chinese New Year. Am I taking a huge risk? Not necessarily. Like I sold on Amazon for like 2 years before I ever got an inspection. So it's not like you have to have one. Everyone's risk tolerances are different. It's not a huge risk. One thing you can do that'll help mitigate the risk is just ask your supplier to send you a bunch of photos. You know, like your sales rep to say, hey, go out there with your cell phone and just like snap a bunch of photos and send it to me to make sure they look legit. So, but you're right. Like shipments have to go out like today or the next couple of days to get out before Chinese New Year because it's about to start. Factories are starting to shut down now. Can you explain how Jungle Scout calculates sales estimates? This is on YouTube from Laurent. And let me try to find you guys an article by Jungle Scout, and we'll try to drop this in the box. Okay, so go to junglescout.com/AccuSales, AccuSales. junglescout.com/AccuSales. And we actually just rolled this out just today. And this is the new way that we are calculating estimated sales. And the article here that you'll find at junglescout.com/AccuSales, that was written by our data scientist. He does a better job explaining how they're calculated than what I do, but the gist of it is we track millions of products on Amazon, their best sellers rank, their price, reviews, all this information, and how many units are actually being sold each day. And when you have this information for millions and millions of products, what happens is you can graph this and you can essentially fill it and you interpolate in the sections that you don't have data for. So on junglescout.com/AccuSales, it will go into all the details of how we do that, but that's the gist of it. How have you found the sales numbers on JumpSend UK with Jungle Slumber? Good question. This was actually just launched last week, and it's been a very busy week, so it's a little bit embarrassing to admit, but I actually haven't checked with Kim how they're selling yet. They're still in that launch phase, so I don't know how many organic sales we've gotten versus coupons given away on JumpSend, but yeah, a little embarrassing, but I don't know the answer to that. I'm gonna have to check with Kim, but it is up on Amazon and we are selling it. What's your personal favorite category to sell in? People always ask me this as if there's like one magic category that I'm always holding back from people. And The truth of it is I really honestly don't have a favorite category to sell in. That's not like how I think about it. I think about finding individual products that have high demand with low competition and good margins, and I don't care what the product is, therefore I don't care what the category is, right? I'm a very like analytical and data-driven person, so I've developed this process that just uses the numbers to decide what product to sell. So that's why I really don't have a favorite category. Anthony asked again, this is the first question we answered, but they heard that Amazon changed their algorithm about how the discounted giveaways are affecting rankings. I personally think it's still kind of a rumor, but I haven't launched a new product in the past week or two, so I don't have the personal experience with it. But I'm hearing lots of mixed reports. That's what makes me think it's just a rumor. Some people that I know are very well-educated sellers and have like lots of experience say that they haven't noticed anything different. So I don't know, maybe they made some small tweaks or something, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of factual information behind those rumors as of yet. How often do you update the Jungle Scout database? It gets updated. So it's updated all day, every day. It's constantly updating the products. Now there's tens of millions of products in there. I think actually close to 100 million. Maybe over 100 million, I don't know exactly. I think over 100 million products. So to run through all 100 million rows in our database, it takes about 24, 48 hours. So the information that you see in the database may be up to 48 hours old, but it's constantly running through all of it and constantly always updating it. I sold this is a question on YouTube from D. Dudzinski. I sold pretty well during Q4, but now things have slowed down. What's the best way to relaunch to get sales moving? So first of all, don't panic is like thing number one, because Q4, obviously sales are at their highest, and January is typically when sales are at the lowest. Of course, there's exceptions to that rule, but like in general, that's how things typically work, okay? So don't worry. There's seasonality to all items on Amazon. I'm sure yours included. If you do want to try to be a little bit more aggressive about getting people to purchase your item, you can give away some coupons that increases your sales velocity. You could be more aggressive with your PPC bids or spend. Those would be ways to try to help get sales moving. And you can look at optimizing your listing. That's a large part for a lot of people, is getting that listing optimized. The easiest thing you can optimize on your listing is your main image. I would recommend running a split test. You can do it manually, but it's very laborious. I wouldn't really recommend it. We have a tool called Splitly, so you can find it at splitly.com. It's an A/B testing tool, and you can split test different images. So it'll rotate the images for you automatically, and then after like 2 weeks, it'll tell you which image performed the best. So optimizing your products is also like a great way to help like get the sales moving. On YouTube, Michael said, I don't know if you've already answered this, but does Jungle Scout tell you if a product is restricted and can't be sold without permission? Jungle Scout specifically doesn't tell you that, the tool. And the reason that it's difficult to do that is because this actually depends on the seller account, okay? So my seller account's pretty old. So like I was actually grandfathered into all categories. Like I don't have to get gated in any categories. I can just sell in all of them. So it's user specific about which categories you can sell in, which categories you can't sell in, kind of depending like when you set your account up and when you got, ungated for this stuff and whatever else. So that's why we were thinking about adding that, but it's kind of difficult for us to do. I guess we could, maybe we could put something in there that says like, it's possible for you to be gated in this or something like that. And that way, like the people with the strictest accounts, that would always apply. And then people who are already ungated for a bunch of stuff, that wouldn't apply as much. So that's one way we could kind of think about it. Avi said, if I sell a product under brand A, can I change and sell it under a new brand? Amazon doesn't let you change the brand on a listing easily. Sometimes they will let you if you contact seller support and you give them all the things they ask for. But yes, you could always do another production run of that particular product with the new brand and create a new listing. That would always be fine. That would just be like a new private label product. So that part of it would be fine. All right, is 350 British pounds an excessive amount to spend on product photos? I wouldn't say excessive, but for that price, because that's equivalent to like, I think about $500 US, I would expect very high-end photos. $200, $250 is typically what I've seen charged for like a group of like 6 or 8 photos of, we'll call these like maybe like lower end professionals. Okay, so like these are high quality photos that they look nice, but these aren't like the people that are taking pictures for Sony and Panasonic and Bose or Nike or whoever else, right? These are like more like amateur professional type people that can produce like high quality results, but they typically charge $200, $250, maybe $300. So like 500 US or about 350 British pounds. I think that is roughly equivalent. Seems pretty high, so I would expect a high quality product. Leela on YouTube says, if selling organic textiles, what certification do Amazon require? And can we put GOTS logo on label packaging? All right. I don't know what the GOTS logo is. That might be some kind of organic certification. I'm not familiar with it though. So typically like Amazon doesn't require certifications. They do for a few things. I think sometimes people have to submit them for like health and beauty type products, but like Amazon's a marketplace. They, you know, so keep that in mind. Like you're going to be the one like creating or manufacturing this product. It's like up to you to have the right like certifications and whatever else is required for your particular brand. Amazon's just like the marketplace that you're using to sell them. So they're typically not the ones that like police that kind of thing. On YouTube, Angelie says, how to best use the sale option under offer. When would it be a good idea to do that, and how long and how much should the sale price be below full price? As you can imagine, very open-ended question with no, it's really hard to answer this in a way that's like useful for you and everyone else, because of course like it's just going to depend. Like, is your product already selling well? If so, I probably wouldn't offer the coupon. Is it not selling very well, and it's because you're higher price? Well, then you could try running a coupon so that it's a little bit less than full price. Yeah, there's not like one size fits all type option for this. Sorry. I'm having a difficult time getting it. This is on YouTube. I'm having a difficult time getting a manufacturer to sell less than 2,000 units to me. Should I send all of it to Amazon, store some of it at my house and some at Amazon, or scratch it all together? It depends how well this product sells. If you think you can sell a third of it per month, so like 700 units per month, then I would probably just sell it into all 2,000 units to Amazon. If you think you're going to be selling less than 700 units per month, and this depends on the demand and competition for this particular category, then maybe you could start by sending in like 1,000 to Amazon and store 1,000 of them. If you're not quite sure, I'd probably lean towards the latter option. Send like half of them into Amazon and store half of them. On Facebook, Joe says, hey Greg, when I import, should I have it delivered to my address or Amazon FBA? Will customs charge me tax? Well, it depends. Do you want to send it to your address or do you want to send it to Amazon FBA? You can send it in directly to Amazon's distribution centers. That's fine. That's what I always do because I don't want to carry around a bunch of boxes and stuff. But if you wanted to have it sent to your house first and inspect it, then you can do that, okay? Will customs charge me tax? All imports to the US are liable for taxes. If the import is done by an express courier like FedEx or DHL or whatever else, they typically don't charge any customs duties for shipments that are valued at less than $2,500 US, okay? If you're shipping by ocean freight, then you will need to expect to pay duties, taxes. But thankfully, unless it's like some kind of weird anti-dumping product, the duties are usually pretty inexpensive, like anywhere from just a few percentage points to, it's typically less than 10%, unless it's yeah, one of these more obscure products. Or I shouldn't say obscure, but like, you know, the US chooses like which duties to charge for like which types of products, so it's going to vary there. All right, Marcelo on Facebook says, can JumpSend get reviews on Amazon Marketplace Mexico? JumpSend's email platform works for the Mexico marketplace. The giveaway portion of JumpSend does not work for Mexico. Right now, it's only offered in the US and the UK. All right, on YouTube, 5 Minute Thriftology says, you are my hero, Greg. Well, thank you very much. I'm happy I could help. Thanks for everything you've done for all of us in your webinars and videos. Question, what are your thoughts on the supplements market? In general, the supplements market, in my opinion, is very competitive, but it's also very high volume and very high margins. So a lot of people are buying these supplements for like $1 or $2 and selling them for like 20 bucks. So that's like awesome, right? Those are great margins, but it's very cutthroat. It's very competitive. So my recommendations for you, if you do want to get into it, is to find a very like obscure type supplement and try to sell that. Because if you sell one of these like really popular ones, it's going to be hyper competitive. All right. On YouTube, Doy says, I've been selling since December. I ran promotional deals, then PPC. I had 3 reviews, but they were deleted by Amazon. I feel as the only sales I get are from PPC. How long should I be running PPC heavily? So I continue to run PPC and to do promotions until my product starts organically ranking well. So it sounds like for you, it's only been like a few weeks. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of like one of the areas that I see some people get trapped, because early on, there's a little bit of a chicken and the egg problem on Amazon. Without sales, you don't get ranked well. And if you're not ranked well, then you don't get organic sales, right? So in order to get ranked well, you have to make sales, right? So, so what a lot of people do, I think, is they end up giving away like 10 products and they like bid moderately aggressive on PPC. They only get a few sales. They're worried about spending more money because on each sale, they're losing a little bit of money. So they don't want to spend more money. But then they're kind of trapped because like their product's not selling well because it's just lost in the back. So my advice to you, even though it's a little bit scary, is like you just have to be aggressive at the beginning to start getting those sales. And then once you start getting those sales, you start ranking better, then you get more reviews, and then it converts better. So it's like this system to continue to move up. But without getting those sales, you're just lost like at the back of Amazon. So, I mean, so to answer your question, you need to continue to run PPC heavily and aggressively until it starts organically ranking well and selling well. Does Amazon provide a report to download that can be used for taxes as a sole proprietor? Amazon does provide I think it's called a 1099K, which shows you how much revenue you generated in a calendar year on Amazon. So that helps, but there's obviously 2 sides of this for taxes. Like how much money did you make and how much money did you spend? So they have no idea how much money you spent. So that's going to be up to you to probably use a tool like Fetcher to figure out how much money you spent, and you can help use that for taxes. What's the weirdest product you've ever seen being sold? I don't know. I have no idea. There's a lot of weird stuff on Amazon. Let's see. Hey, Greg, do you ever get any feedback from JumpSend by sellers who are worried that if they put their product on JumpSend, other FBA sellers will use their ideas, since many people on JumpSend sell on Amazon? No. So this is something that you just have to get over, like as an entrepreneur. Like at some point, you have to give your product out to the world, right? Like you have to launch it. So at that point, the idea's out there. You want your idea out there because you want the customers to see this and buy this, okay? So there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of products on JumpSend, just like there's thousands and thousands of products on Amazon. You don't have to worry about people stealing your idea just because it's on JumpSend. That'd be like you thinking like people are going to steal your idea because you're going to put it on Amazon. It's like, well, I mean, you have to put it on Amazon to make these sales. So, but that's it for today, guys. Our 30 minutes have passed. I've really enjoyed this. Before we go, if you could hit that like or love button and subscribe on YouTube, I would really appreciate it. That's what gets me stoked to come back here each week, especially if I answered your question. That I really appreciate you giving me a little bit of social love. I do want to tell you about an awesome podcast that Jungle Scout's doing. You can find out about it at junglescout.com/podcast. It's called Go Pitch Win, which is a Shark Tank style podcast. Each season, 10 contestants come on to pitch their product or business idea to myself and another judge. At the end of each season, one of those 10 people will be awarded a $10,000 prize. Free and clear, you get the cash to invest in your business. It's gonna be super fun, and we're still accepting applicants. junglescout.com/podcast. That's where you can apply. It only takes a few minutes. And like we said, we're going to be selecting the best 10 applicants probably at the end of this week. So I don't want you to delay to submit that. And you might be selected for one of the 10. You get to pitch your idea and you get a 1 out of 10 chance of winning the $10,000. Thank you guys very much for everyone joining us. I've really enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Take care, guys.